Hi and welcome to CMPP269, the COVID-19 edition here in spring summer of 2020. So I'm glad to have you here, and over the next 15 weeks we're going to make some meaningful progress in learning how to program in Java using BlueJ will be our IDE, although if you know a different IDE you're welcome to use that. And also we'll be using Pearson's interactive textbook technology called Revel, that in conjunction with Brightspace. So let's take a look at the course. If you don't have access to the course, let me just go over a little bit about CMPP 269 and some of the SATE systems. So at SATE we have a system for email, and we have MS Teams, which is a tool that we use to hold virtual meetings. And we also have Brightspace. And Brightspace, sometimes it's called D2L. D2L is the company that created Brightspace, and it's a product that is a learning management system. And then we'll go on and I'll talk a little bit about your course. We'll look at a course map. We'll look at this technology called Revel and how we connect your Revel account to your course. And then I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to approach this course material. So first of all, SATE email. So SATE email is Office 365 email. So it's accessed by going to www.office.com, and then you type in your email address that SATE has assigned you, which will be your first name dot last name at edu.sate.ca, and then your password will be your birth date in the format year, month, day. So that will get you into SATE email, and that will also allow you to access a product called MS Teams. Let me just bring that up here. Give me a sec. So here we are at Office. So if I were to log in here, my email's a little bit different than yours. Yours is the edu.sate.ca. So I would log in, and it would take me to this screen here. And so Outlook is the email system, and MS Teams is the Teams environment. And up here in the top left is the app launcher. So to access your email, you click there. And to access MS Teams, you click there. So when I click MS Teams, so it will either bring it up as an app, or you can load the software, and then you kind of pick your team that you'll be associated with. So you'll see that there'll be a team called CMPP 269 Spring. And then through that, you can chat with me. So when you go to your particular team, you can click on chat. You can click on chat, and you can also set up meetings. And so I will set up meetings and stuff there too. Okay, so that's MS Teams. Let's talk about Brightspace. So Brightspace is the learning management system we're going to be using. So to log into Brightspace, we go learn.sate.ca, and your password here is your SATE ID followed by enough leading zeros to make your SATE ID 9 digits long. So if you have a 6-digit SATE ID, you would have 3 leading zeros. And then your password, which is different than your Office 365 password, it is day, month, year. So it's flipped. And then you would go into the course called the Spring 2020 semester, and you would see CMPP 269. So let me just go into that and show you what that looks like. All right, so when you go to learn.sate.ca, it will redirect you to the SATE login page. You'll log in, and then you'll be in your SATE. Then you'll be at learn.sate.ca. You'll select your semester, click on the course, and then you'll be in the course. So here's the course. Here's CMPP 269. If you have troubles with your technology or you need password resets, the SATE Help Desk are there to help you. So you email helpline@sate.ca, include your name, your SATE ID, and let them know you're in the IT diploma as well. So now we're going to take a look at your particular course, CMPP269. We'll also take a look at Revel, which is the interactive textbook for it. Let's talk about some of the features of this course. So there's no fixed classes or times for the course. So you complete the course based on your own schedule, but you do have to keep pace with the course map, and the quizzes are due at a certain date and time. They don't have to be done at a specific date and time, but they have to be done by a specific date and time. In terms of instruction, what you'll see is I have recorded instructor videos from when I taught the course face-to-face, and I've done some minor editing to them. We'll have these things called Revel programming projects. There's one per module, and they're typically about 20 or 30 lines of code that you need to write, that you'll write in BlueJ, and then you'll paste the code into Revel, and Revel will automatically check that it works correctly. And then the major programming assignments you'll submit in Brightspace, and I'll actually mark those. So in Revel, there's those 10 programming projects, and there's also little kind of short quizzes as you work through the material. So as you read through the Revel textbook, there's like little videos for you to watch. There's little self-check exercises, and then there's short quizzes. And those, when you complete those quizzes, those marks will actually move back into Brightspace. So that's pretty cool. For every module, there's a little practice quiz for you to do. And the practice quizzes are open book. So you can do those at home, and you can reference the Revel textbook and the slides. That's fine. And then you have 10 real quizzes to do. And those are meant to be done. Those are closed book, and they're done with a lockdown browser. And you need a webcam that will kind of watch you as you write the exam. And then we have those 4 major programming assignments. You'll see there's a little video introduction to each of them. And we do have some fixed times for the midterm and the final. So the midterm will be done on June the 23rd, the theory midterm, and the lab midterm will be done on June 25th. And then the theory final, August 18th, and the lab final on August 20th. If you can't make the scheduled dates and times for the midterms and the finals, contact me and I can work something else out for you. Okay? All right, so let's go into the course. So here's the course right here. So I'm just going to show you kind of some features of Brightspace if you're not familiar with it, and also kind of let you know where the material is. So over here you'll see there is an announcements area. So every week I'll post an announcement, and it'll say, hey, here's what you need to be working on this week, and so on. So you look over here for announcements. Here it talks about your textbook. So the Pearson Revel textbook is a required textbook. You need the textbook because there are assignments to be done in it, which will be transferred over to Brightspace. So there's no way to get a free copy of this. Don't waste your time because it's really software. And so you'll see that you can purchase that for $79. And the good news is you'll have this textbook throughout your time in the IT diploma. So those of you in software development will continue using it in further semesters, and the rest of you will always be able to reference this book if you ever need to know anything more about Java. Okay. There's tutoring available. You see information about that here. And here's where we have a little announcement on the course map for the course. So why don't we take a quick look at that? So this provides general guidance for, I'm going to download this just so I can see it a bit better. So this is the general course map or schedule for the course. So the first week we're doing the module number 0 and module number 1, and there's a checklist associated with those, and there'll be a Revel programming assignment that needs to be done as well. And then week number 2, we're doing module 2, week number 3, module 3. So sometimes the modules line up with the chapters, sometimes they don't. So it's good to print out this course map and have it with you. and access that. Okay, and there we have the dates for and so on, right to the end of the course. Okay, so that's the course map. So that's great. Let's go back to the main page here. And I want to talk to you about how, and you can also access the course map here. And there's my contact information. Let's look at this link to the Revel textbook. So when we click on this, this is where you will go to purchase access to the Revel textbook. And it'll bring up the link and you'll click on it, and then it will bring up a Revel page. And so once you click on the link, you need to create an account. So if you already have a Revel account because you've taken CMPP 269 sometime in the past, then you can just sign in and it will automatically connect your Revel account to a brand new CMPP 269 set of Revel assignments. If you're brand new to the course, then you click on Student and you fill in all of your information, and you fill in all of your information, and you basically purchase the textbook at this time. You need the textbook, so there's no way around it. All right, let's take a look at what else we have here. We'll go back to the home. So let's talk a little bit about how you would approach this course. So if we look on, let's look under what's available here. So underneath content, you will see what are called modules. So the first module is called Course Information, and then we have something called Module 0 and so on. Another interesting thing to note is you will see that the major programming assignments are shown as topics here. So you can bring those up to learn more information about the major programming assignments. The other thing is if you want to know additional information about what is covered on the midterms, there are topics associated with that as well. So go ahead and explore those. Let's take a look at what would be a pretty typical module. So when you go to do this course, you're going to start by going to Course Information here, and then you just go through all the topics. So this is called the workflow. This is a little introduction to 269. There's a video for you to watch. Tells you a little bit about my software development experience. And then here we have a checklist. So the checklist really form the foundation of the learning activities for the course. So for example, it says here you should download the course outline, take a look at that. Download the course map and print it out. When you've done that, click that off. And you'll notice as you check off these items here, it increases what percentage complete you are of this particular module. And again, work with academic services if you have a learning disability, and then advance to the next topic. Okay, the next topic is Module 0. So Module 0, what's it about? It's about learning about SATE systems, how to gain access to the textbook, how the course is organized, and so on. And again, we have learning activities. There's an orientation, some orientation slides, and then we have some policy slides. There's a policy video for you to watch, and then a policy quiz for you to do. So you just basically work through these checklists. So that's the content. Now, underneath the assessments area, you will also find the checklists there if you need to view them. As I said, at the end of the more typical modules, let me take you to a more typical module. Module 3 would be more typical. This is a module on branches. So here it says, okay, you're going to learn about branches. You download the slides, watch the videos, complete the Revel assignment, do the practice quiz, which is open book, do the regular quiz, which is closed book. Okay, that's great. And so here are the slides for Module 3. And then we have actually 3 sets of videos associated with these slides. So not only will I show you the slides, but I also typically bring up BlueJ and I do some demonstrations at the same time. What I would recommend is, if you can, it's great to have two screens. So one screen, you can have the video running, and on the second screen, you can either be filling in the slides or doing the same demo that I'm doing that's being shown in the video. So don't just be static watching the videos. My recommendation is kind of the stuff that I'm doing in the video. Some of it will be in Revel, some of it will be in BlueJ. Do that with me as if you're in the live class, because that's what we would do in the live class. Is I would do a little demo for you, and you would actually do the demo along with me, right? You would bring up BlueJ, type in my code, run it. I'll show you how to use the debugger and so on. So be an active learner. You're responsible for your own learning. Be an active learner. Here we have these practice quizzes. You're allowed to do them once and only once. Same with the quizzes, once and only once. And then we have these things called the Revel programming assignments. So for the Revel programming assignments, you'll see that there is a video that provides an overview of the assignment. And then often inside of Brightspace here, I'll have the video. I may have some skeleton code to kind of help you along, to give you a kind of a head start. So we can see for module number 3 here, we have these PowerPoints and we have those slides to watch. But it also says that we need to complete the Revel assignment for chapter 3. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so to get to the Revel textbook, the quickest way there is go back to the course home and click on the Revel textbook. And then it should pop up for you. And then we can take a look. Let me change this so that we get the student view here. And we can look at the assignment for chapter 3. So basically you read through this chapter. And it has some sample code and good stuff like that. It'll also have some embedded videos that you can watch, and I'd recommend you take the time to do those. Then it has these cool things called animations. So this is a little program that reads in a couple random numbers and adds them together. So as you click the next button, it will ask you some questions like, enter the smallest possible integer, a space in the largest possible integer. So I think it's supposed to generate numbers between 1 and 10. Well, I'm wrong, it's 0 and 9. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. And we keep running here. And basically it's showing and explaining what's going on in this program, right? What is 3 plus 3? Let's suppose we enter the right answer, 6. And it's showing how that gets assigned to a variable. And then if it turns out that your answer is right, I think that's true. And it prints out some. So this is just an example of an animation. We also have these things called live examples, where basically it says, fill in the code. So, how can we get this program to work like this one? So you can copy the code over to see it, or just click the answer button. It'll fill in the code, and then you can run it. What's really cool about this is you can also add your own code to test stuff too. Let's say, so if number 1 plus number 2 is equivalent to the answer, then let's print, congratulations, you're right. Congratulations. Correct answer. So that's one of the cool things about this Revel textbook. Actually has a built-in compiler. And so we can compile and run it. And if you don't do it right, it tells you about an error, gives you error messages. I have an error message there. Got to be careful when you do stuff live like this. Have to make sure it works. Okay, I had too many braces in there. So here we compile the program and run it. And so is 1 plus 5, what is 1 plus 5? I said it was 5, and that's false. So I didn't get the right answer. we have little self-test questions. Is the less than or equal to operator in Java is which one? I think it's this one, isn't it? That's correct. That's a correct answer. So we have little self-checks. And then we have these things called quizzes. So these quizzes are little programming assignments that you need to do. And then at the end of the chapter, there will be a programming project. Let me see if I can bring up one of the programming projects here just to kind of show you. Okay, so here's one of the programming projects. So you have to write a program that calculates the roots of a quadratic equation. It provides some sample runs. And then the program's supposed to be called exercise 03_0 run. So you would go write this in BlueJ, and then you cut and paste the code back here into Revel and click the submit button, and it'll compile the program and test it to determine if you get the right answer. Okay? So that's a little bit about that Revel environment. Okay, just a couple other general things before we wrap this up here. If you click on Assessments, Assignments, this is where you'll see the programming assignments, the major programming assignments. If you click on Assessments, Tests, you can also access the appropriate tests there. So you'll find all the practice quizzes there and the online tests there, as well as the deadlines for them, right? So that's good to know. If you want to access the checklists directly, you'll find them here under Assessments, Checklists. And you want to know how you're doing in the course, you can look at your grades underneath Assessments, Grades. All right, if you have any questions, just go ahead and drop me a line at dave.leskiw@sate.ca. All right, or I guess you could also chat with me via MS Teams. All right, well, good luck to you, and we'll be talking to you soon.